Inside a luxury casino in Manila, a man walks out carrying a bag filled with millions of dollars. But the strange thing is, he didn't win that money, and he didn't steal it either. The money had just arrived from a central bank, thousands of miles away. So, how did the money leave the bank? The answer begins in a small room inside the Bangladesh Central Bank, the SWIFT room. If you're new here and you love finance news and shocking money stories, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell. Now, let's uncover one of the strangest lost money stories in history. I'm Andrew, and you're watching The Capital Plus. Banks rarely move the money itself. Instead, they send instructions through a network called SWIFT. Over 11,000 financial institutions rely on this system. Every day, trillions of dollars flow through it. When a SWIFT message arrives with proper authorization, banks execute it automatically. No phone calls, no human confirmation, just trust. The attackers didn't storm the building. They didn't hack the Federal Reserve, nor did they attack SWIFT directly. Instead, they sent an email. Inside the Bangladesh Central Bank, one employee opened a malicious attachment. The malware gave hackers full access: passwords, security procedures, transaction schedules. But instead of stealing money immediately, they waited months, planning something much bigger: the ghost in the machine. For 36 weeks, the hackers lived inside the bank's servers. They weren't just watching, they were learning. They figured out exactly when the printers worked, when the staff went to lunch, and most importantly, how the physical SWIFT printer in that small room operated. This printer was the bank's only physical record of money moving. If they could control the printer, they could make the evidence disappear before anyone even arrived at the office. They were invisible, waiting for the perfect moment when the bank would be empty and the world would be looking the other way. For months, the hackers studied the bank and employee schedules. They discovered that part of the money was stored in the Federal Reserve Bank of New York. If they could send legitimate-looking SWIFT messages, the Federal Reserve itself might move the money. They were not just thieves, they were architects of a billion-dollar ghost. On the night of February 4th, 2016, the attack began. 35 transfer requests, totaling $951 million. Each message instructed the Federal Reserve to transfer funds to accounts in the Philippines. And unbelievably, the system started processing them. Millions were flying across the ocean while the world slept. One transfer was meant for the Shalika Foundation. But the hackers made a typo. Foundation. It's incredible. A billion-dollar heist planned for months. Almost succeeded. But it tripped over a single vowel. This tiny mistake triggered a compliance alert at Deutsche Bank. Usually these systems are fully automated, but because of that one wrong letter, the machine paused. For the first time in this entire operation, a human being actually reviewed the transaction. They looked at the name, they looked at the destination, and something felt wrong. The Federal Reserve was alerted, and suddenly, the digital gold rush came to a screeching halt. By the time the alarm was raised, $81 million had already reached the Philippines. This wasn't just a transfer, it was a ghost hunt. The money moved to Manila's casinos, where it was washed through baccarat tables, converted into chips, played for a few rounds, and then cashed out as clean winnings. The hackers had turned digital theft into physical cash that no bank could track. One infected email almost triggered the largest bank heist in history. And the only thing that stopped it was a single typo. Subscribe and share this story if you're as stunned as we are. I'm Andrew, and this was the Capital Plus.